Thank you. Agus accorda bhhainm ar dús go rímo méid orm a bheith in bhór jaunta inmh ag fórum fondúireachta Eurofound 2022 agus tá sain ról ag Eurofund Arabi an gníomhaireacht Orpach ag bhfuil mandáid ar let down chanílacha marachtála agus ibre ausú do Hiránig na Hórpa. In my own native language, I've just articulated how delighted I am to join you today at the Eurofound Foundation Forum 2022 and how I've described in my own native language the specific mandate and role of this EU agency, improving the living and working conditions of European citizens. And we know that Eurofound plays a distinctive role in promoting and facilitating informed dialogue on developing and delivering stronger social, employment and work-related policies. It is my sincere belief that this distinctive role has never been more important and that in many ways it captures the essence of the democratic ideal at the heart of our shared European Union project. It is impossible to talk about Europe today, of course, without reflecting on the appalling events unfolding in Ukraine. As we meet Ukraine, a European country, a sovereign democracy, is being subjected to the most horrific and barbaric atrocity and assault. It is an assault on a people and a country, but also an assault on our values and our way of life in Europe. Irish people have been enormously moved by the extraordinary courage and bravery of the people and the government of Ukraine in facing down this most unjustifiable and brutal invasion. We stand with them. We are proud to be part of a union that not only stands with them, but stands behind them. The European Union has moved swiftly to adopt the strongest, most hard-hitting package of sanctions in its history. Through the European Peace Facility, we are sending supplies to Ukraine. We are supporting those fleeing the war, and I pay special tribute to the governments and people of neighbouring countries who have done everything they can to offer a safe harbour at the most difficult of times. The people of Ukraine see their future within the European Union, and I very much welcome their application for membership. A country defiant in their support for our values are unquestionably part of our European family. The way of life to which they aspire is at the heart of the work of Eurofound. So let me begin today by conveying my sincere appreciation to Eurofound, to Taoiseach Calfin and all of the staff in Loughlinstown House for the commitment and your professionalism that you bring to your work. It was just over 50 years ago, in January of 1972, that my predecessor, Jack Lynch as Taoiseach, and Dr. Patrick Hillery as Minister for Foreign Affairs signed the treaty on behalf of Ireland to join the then European communities. As Social Affairs Commissioner, Dr. Hillery was also instrumental in securing agreement to the Social Action Plan in 1973 that led to the establishment of Eurofound in 1975. And in his later role as President of Ireland, Dr. Hillery opened the Eurofound offices in Loughlinstown House in 1978. Our histories are therefore deeply intertwined. The signing ceremony of our accession treaty set in train a process that saw the Irish people vote in a referendum in May of 1972, and overwhelmingly 83% voted in favour of joining, and Ireland became a member state on the 1st of January 1973. Few events in Ireland's history as an independent state has been so transformative. The 5 decades since have witnessed Ireland's emergence as a modern, open economy and society shaped by close reciprocal cooperation with our European partners. This transformation was supported by our European partners, including through substantial structural funding, as well as through the vital role that our European Union membership has played in the journey towards peace and reconciliation on this island of Ireland. It is important also to acknowledge that sitting at the European Union table over these 5 decades helped give us the scope and the confidence to develop progressive new agendas across a broad range of policy areas. Our membership gave us the impetus we needed to strengthen our own human rights record, to drive forward civil and social rights, to introduce gender equality legislation, to improve protection of workers' rights, and to become a much more tolerant, kinder and inclusive country than the Ireland of 1972. We are proud that Ireland has become a beacon to others of what the European Union can help a country to achieve, never more so than when another of my predecessors, Taoiseach Micheál Martin, led the country in hosting the Day of Welcomes for 10 new member states joining the Union here in Dublin in May of 2004. We now play our part in seeking to advance and defend the Union's shared values within the Union and throughout the world: respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. We are living through very challenging times. As we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, which will leave deep and lasting economic and social impacts, we are faced with the situation in Ukraine, which, along with the horror of war, brings with it further economic uncertainty. The pandemic confronted the European Union and its member states with a crisis and challenge of immense scale, and in an area where the Union's competence and ability to respond was limited. We found ourselves in uncharted territory. However, despite this complexity, the European Union, its institutions and its member states pulled together in a way that has demonstrated to its citizens the strength that there is in unity. The historic €2 trillion budgetary package agreed by the European Council in July of 2020 was a new and important milestone in European Union solidarity. It was my own first European Council meeting as Taoiseach. Despite sometimes very difficult negotiations, we succeeded in reaching agreement on a fair, balanced and ambitious package to support Europe's economic recovery and to drive the climate and digital transformation on which our future well-being and prosperity rely. This includes, of course, the targeted and front-loaded investment through the new Next Generation EU Recovery and Resilience Facility. Importantly, it sent the message that in the most testing of times, European Union leaders can work together and find a compromise that delivers for our citizens. Over this budgetary cycle, Ireland will contribute more to the European Union budget than we will receive. In doing so, we will extend the same solidarity to others that we have benefited from over many decades. We do so because this is a model that works. The monies from national recovery and resilience plans are now beginning to flow, while reinvigorating the social dialogue that is so crucial to our European semester process of economic governance. Participants in today's proceedings need no reminder that the European Union is more than just a shared economy and marketplace. In May of 2021, just ahead of Europe Day, I joined European Union leaders at the Social Summit in Porto, at the invitation of the Portuguese presidency, to reinforce our collective commitment to implementing the European Pillar of Social Rights. The Porto Declaration marks an important milestone in setting a progressive European Union agenda for the period ahead and demonstrates that our shared European ideal is first and foremost about enhancing the lives of our citizens, about improving their living and working conditions. The concrete employment, skills and poverty reduction targets to be achieved by 2030 are an exemplar of the practical focus that I believe is necessary in setting strategic direction for the European Union and its member states. The social pillar and the Porto Declaration provide a clear political compass for our collective actions. And it is a political compass that is highly consistent with Eurofound's distinctive role in improving living and working conditions and ensuring that we equip our citizens with the skills and capabilities for full participation in economic and social life. The current pace of change in the world of work is without precedent. Remote and blended working have now become a much bigger part of life, with benefits for individual work-life balance, as well, of course, as new job opportunities, including, for example, for people with disabilities or caring responsibilities. Ireland's national remote work strategy aims to ensure that remote working is a permanent feature in the Irish workplace in a way that maximises economic, social and environmental benefits. This commitment is also at the forefront of Commissioner Smith's thinking, who you will hear from shortly. I look forward to the Commissioner's forthcoming initiative on social dialogue and to engaging constructively with it. As we look ahead, the Conference on the Future of Europe is enabling people from every corner of the continent to share their ideas on the future of Europe. I see the Conference on the Future of Europe as a very important and practical way of boosting citizen engagement with the European Union. Because while the level of knowledge about and the level of approval of the European Union and our membership is very strong in Ireland, we should never take it for granted. We must continue to seek and embrace ways to engage citizens on the aims, the institutions and the benefits of this great project. As you may know, Ireland is a strong advocate for citizen engagement, or what is known as deliberative democracy. We've had 3 such assemblies to discuss and deliberate on big, important ideas. I was delighted that one of the 4 European Union-wide citizen panels met here in Dublin Castle last weekend to finalise their recommendations on the theme of a stronger economy, social justice, jobs, education, culture, sport and digital transformation. As we reflect upon the future of the European Union over coming months, I believe the same spirit of optimism, aspiration and hope that informed those who signed the accession treaty for Ireland can remain a powerful guiding force. As well as being 50 years since signing the accession treaty and 20 years since starting to use the euro, this marks a centenary of Irish independence. One way of seeing these milestones in the round is as a reminder that the democratic ideal that is fundamental to our European Union remains relatively young and potentially fragile when considered against the broad sweep of human history. But when we look at Ukraine, we can see how compelling and fresh and vital it remains. Not far from here, people are prepared to die for the values of freedom and democracy. It is beyond appalling that it is a situation that they should face. Their stand should remind us of the enormous privilege we enjoy. Today's event in Dublin Castle includes participation from all 27 EU member states, and it is this diversity of experience that is undoubtedly a fundamental underpinning of what enriches us as a collective. We are united in the European Union by a shared commitment to a unique project that has provided peace and prosperity for our citizens. There are surely few more important responsibilities than the renewal of this great shared endeavour for the 21st century ahead. Today's Foundation Forum in Dublin Castle is an important part of this wider dialogue of renewal, an important step on this new journey together towards shaping Europe's future. Gur míle míle maith agaibh go léir. Thank you all very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Taoiseach, gur míle maith agat. And thank you also to the Irish Government for their ongoing collaboration, partnership and support in the work that Eurofound does.